want me to start off? Tell us who you are. Introduce yourself.
My name is Rod Stars.
My name is G1 and we're Rebel Diaz.
And what is Rebel Diaz?
Rebel Diaz is hip-hop. Rebel Diaz is a bilingual duo, a hip-hop group. Rebel Diaz is a movement. We make music for the people. We're based out of the Bronx, originally from Chicago, via Chile.
How important right now in 2011 do you think political hip-hop is?
I mean, I think that realistically, I like to make a separation between hip-hop culture and the rap music industry. I think hip-hop culture is innately political. You know what I'm saying? Like, hip-hop is the voice of resistance and the voice of the voiceless. And I think that political hip-hop is something that people just label. Now, hip-hop that talks about political issues, it's important, it's necessary. We live in historic moments of oppression, and I think as a people, we gotta respond with historic moments of resistance, you know what I mean? And right now, we're using our culture as resistance. That's what we do.
What do you think is more difficult for people to accept? The fact that you guys are Latino hip-hop artists, or that you're political?
I mean, it's, you know, folks will always be quick to try to put you in a box. But for us, we just speak about our reality, you know what I'm saying? We're originally from Chile. We're the son of political refugees from Chile. Grew up in Chicago, grew up in Latino culture, grew up in hip-hop. So for us, it's about speaking our truth, you know what I'm saying? Speaking our reality.
And even then, even when you talk about the whole idea that like Latino hip-hop is something different. When you look at the history of hip-hop, you know what I'm saying, you look at Rocksteady Crew, you look at, you know what I'm saying, like the inclusion of Latinos has always been there, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, Prince was Whipper Whip, and you know what I'm saying, like all them old school dudes. DJ Charlie Hustle was down with Cold Crush, DJ Disco Wiz. Like, there's a history of Latinos in hip-hop from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? And all that other stuff is just divide and conquer tactics that they be using to try to make it seem like we ain't been down with this from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for us, we just look at like what we're doing is hip-hop, whether it's in English or Spanish, you know what I'm saying? Like, hip-hop now is an international movement. Anywhere you go, you know what I'm saying, wherever there's poor people, I guarantee you that 99% of that time, that soundtrack to that hood is gonna be hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? So.
Now, like 20 years ago, we had like NWA, Public Enemy, who were mainstream artists and very political and had a message. Now, fast forward now, 2011, you have certain artists, Immortal Technique, Dead Prez, who aren't on the mainstream, but they're still there. Like, what do you think it would take to get groups like that into the mainstream again?
I mean, part of it is the groups that do exist and do have a foot in the door have a responsibility to make more of those. So we need more Dead Prez's, we need more Immortal Techniques, you know what I'm saying? We need more Rebel Diaz. Some of the work that we do in the Bronx, we run a community center. It's a hip-hop community center. We aim to build community through the arts, you know what I'm saying? Through hip-hop, using hip-hop culture as a form of resistance, as a form of education and self-empowerment. And it's really creating the spaces for young people to be able to look at that as a viable option, as a viable form of expression. You know what I'm saying? It's getting tired of just rapping about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about rapping about our community. We talking about rapping the conditions that we see every day. You feel me?
At the end of the day, corporations got hip to the game. Corporations are scared of a group like NWA. They scared of a group like Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like, corporations would rather fund, you know what I'm saying, stuff that's gonna dumb our people down. It's easier to control us that way if we, you know what I'm saying, Superman in that hole and whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever else is out now. Like, it's just understanding that that's just representative of what's going on with education, you know what I mean? Like, because anybody that knows what time it is knows that what we talking about and what their prayers and other acts like that, or Immortal Technique, like you said, we talking about the truth. We ain't lying. Is there oppression in our community? Hell yeah, there's oppression. Is there police brutality? Yeah. Is there attacks on immigrants? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we being honest. It's honest music that we making. So.
Now, what would be more important to you guys as artists and political activists? Should be known for a political movement, or to be known in hip hop?
I think that's the $1 million question.
Like, what would you rather blow up as?
I mean, it's not, for us, it's really not about blowing up. We're talking about, you hear the word sustainability being thrown around a lot. You hear a lot in the environmental movement, sustainability. For us, it's about survival. So for us, if we could run a community center and educate young people and still be hitting stages across the world where we have thousands of people supporting our music, that's our reality. You know what I'm saying? We're artists, but we also bring the message to action. So for us, it's kind of hard to separate the two.
It's also about what you're interested in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could care less about being on a blog. You know what I'm saying? I could care less about, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we just came back from Greece, rocking shows in front of 10,000 people. You know what I mean? Like, the world is bigger than just New York City and the US. That's what people gotta open up, you know what I'm saying? Like, what people gotta realize, I tell these to the young rappers that we be building with, like, the Lil Wayne and all these other dudes, that lane is clogged up already. If you talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for us, like, I make a living off music. I wake up every day and the only thing I'm talking about is organizing my community and making music that's about something. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? We was just in Germany, France, England. The people are uprising, and that's the reality, is that I'd rather make music that's gonna give me longevity. As long as people are gonna be oppressed, which is all the time, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna keep addressing issues. So granted, like, yeah, I've been doing this for 6 years. So it's like also understanding and being comfortable with what all you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we good with it. We good with what we doing. Rebel Diaz, you know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, since we're based out of Philadelphia, are there any Philadelphia artists you guys are feeling?
Man, I'm gonna keep it 100. I got a lot of love for Philadelphia Freeway, man. My man is raw with it. You know what I'm saying? His voice is, man, like, and not only that, the fact that my G has, you know what I'm saying, been able to get off all that corporate Rockefeller stuff and still kept the flow on the independent tip. So I gotta give love to that, you know what I mean? I see Petey Crack doing some Latino hip hop thing with some other brothers, you know? Like, more than anything, man, that's what we try to share with everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, I live in Hunts Point in the Bronx. I live in the hood, I listen to music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fan, you know what I mean? I ain't sitting here like, oh, but I'm comfortable with what lane I'm in, you know what I mean? So like I love, you know, my man The Truth, I never really heard him perform, he did his thing today. And I know there's a lot of, you know, ill Philly artists, you know what I mean? So like, you know, but yeah, Philadelphia, Philly Freeway, that man right now.
Word.
You mentioned before you do stuff in New York as far as like community outreach and stuff like that. Do you want to plug any of that? Tell anybody like where or what?
All our info. So the info for the group is Rebel Diaz, www.rebeldiaz.com, REBELDIAZ.com. Our community organization and our community center is called the Rebel Diaz Arts Collective, the RDACBX, because it's in the Bronx. So that's www.rdacbx.org, and that's all the information regarding our community work, and rebeldiaz.com for our music work.
And then real quick, we doing this initiative which has been for the last 16 weeks. We got this thing called Warrior Wednesdays. So it's a website called warriorwednesdays.com. And we putting out a new joint every Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, check for that. A new album dropping called Radical Dilemma. You know what I'm saying? The idea of Radical Dilemma is based on a book by George Jackson. It's a book called Soledad Brother, which are his prison letters from, you know, from jail. And in it, they talk about the radical dilemma. And the radical dilemma that we live in is that we got radical politics, but we understand that even though our main idealistic goal will be to overturn the system and flip it on its back, we understand that at times there's steps that you got to get to take to that level. So for us, the radical dilemma is working within the system. When you really, what you really want to do is flip it on its back. But that's what it is. That's what we're doing. You know what I mean?
I can feel that.
Word. Sure.
So I just saw you guys perform. Not Obama fans.
No, you know what it is? It ain't that we not Obama fans. We just not fans of imperialism, and that's what Obama is representing. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, look, and we said it in 2008. We recognize the historical significance and symbolism involved in the Obama election in 2008, and also the symbolism that it'll mean in 2012. But at the same time, we can't be fooled by a person's appearance in regards to the politics and policies being created in Washington. You know what I'm saying? We have another war going on in Libya. They're still trying to build a border along the wall, trying to build a wall along the border. We have increased deportations of our immigrant communities. You know what I'm saying? So for us, we see those facts, and it's hard for us to be supportive of the hope that he offered, and to be honest, it feels more like a hoax at this point.
We did a joint in 2008 called The Letter to Obama. Saying check for that. And basically we was talking about that since back then, and a lot of people was on the bandwagon, and we caught heat for it, and now the people coming back like, man, y'all was right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
What do you think right now, political issues that are going on right now, you think people should know about that they might not know about?
I mean, first of all, everything is political. From the moment you wake up and brush your teeth, everything you do is political. For us, I think the main thing that people are worried about at the end of the day is surviving. We were talking earlier about sustainability. If you can't get a job to feed your family, you're gonna engage in the underground economy, you know what I'm saying, and find a way to feed your family. We have young people that are taking out loans to go to college and finding a job market that doesn't hire. You understand what I'm saying? We have young people that are supposedly living the American dream by succeeding and doing good in education and not being able to pay their bills because they owe so much for college tuition. So for us, I think that the youth is a big part of who we work with and the realities of the people that we share with. So those are, to me, are some of the biggest things is the jobs, you know what I'm saying, for young people and the prospects of being able to live. We here today supporting Sherry on Kala, and what she's talking about is running for sheriff so people won't get their houses foreclosed and get kicked out of their houses. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we're seeing one of the biggest land grabs in the history of the United States, where the banks are taking over land and buildings and repossessing them from people. You know what I'm saying? So that's, for us, that's a huge problem, that when you have people being put on the streets in the name of profit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's definitely some of the issues that we touch upon in our work.
I mean, I look at it like this, man, like, I don't really look at it like based on issues. That's a problem with the movement. You got your anti-police brutality dudes, your anti-war people, your you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking like, listen, we live in a capitalist system that's not built for us to succeed. You know what I'm saying? It's built for us to fail. Our people, our youth, they go to jail or they go to war. A lot of times that's what it look like after high school, or they on the streets. So it's like, you know, it's about that time, man. That's all. You know what I'm saying? It's about that time. So
shout outs and last words.
Man, shout out to hopefully to the future sheriff, Cherry Hunkala. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully she wins. It'll be a victory for the people. And shout outs really to anybody that's out there doing work for social justice and doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not ready to be the next Malcolm X, it's all right. You could do a revolutionary act. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to start somewhere, though. I mean, and more than anything, like, yo, get access to information. Don't believe the hype, like Public Enemy used to say. You know what I mean? Like, all this nonsense they be selling us on Fox News and the TV, like, we got to work past that. We are smarter people, you know what I mean? Like, and another thing, too, is to the young people in the hood, like, a lot of times, we got to start redefining success. Even in this hip-hop game, we gotta redefine success. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my neighbor ain't eating, I ain't successful. You know what I mean? So, redefining success, like, right now, the system defines success like you gotta leave the hood. We gotta start thinking like, no, stay in your hood and build your hood from within. And that's what we talking about. That's all, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Peace to Philly, peace to the hip-hop
Rebel
world.
Diaz, check us out, y'all. Peace.
All right, thanks, guys.